Okay. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today? Thanks for pulling up to this stream. Oh, y'all in here early. Karawick was up in here. Les was up in here saying got a snack about to be lit. Hey, that's what I like to hear. You know what I mean? I always gotta have a snack. I don't be going nowhere without a snack. I watch all my favorite content creators with a snack, so I appreciate the fact that Les showed up with the snack. That shows me I'm moving in the right direction. You feel me? Ant-Man was up. Hoops with Thunder was up. Hoops with Thunder, is that the same as Thunder Productions, just with a new name? Yes, sir. Ant-Man, remember to like the stream. Lux, what's goody? What's goody? What's good with y'all? How y'all doing today? Should be a good stream. Y'all know how we do it over here. Hawks Hoops happens every. Hey, Serge, what's good, man? Hey, Serge, you ain't never got to apologize for missing the stream. I know it's like 4 a.m. where you at. I'd be happy when you in here. You know what I mean? It's always dope when you pull up to the stream. It's always appreciated, bro. You ain't got to apologize for missing, bro. I mean, honestly, that goes for nobody. Y'all ain't really got to apologize for missing. I appreciate y'all when y'all do make it. You know what I mean? We have a vibe. There's always rewatch gang. I always try to take some clips from the stream. If you don't got time to watch the whole full stream, I know sometimes it feels weird to rewatch a stream, but I always try to pull a couple of clips and stuff like that, especially since we're doing these lists of breaking it down. Lance, what's up? Couldn't make the small sword stream, but I'm here. Hey, appreciate you, Ant-Man. If you're curious on the list, though, Ant-Man, I did upload yesterday. I was late to doing it. We'll talk about 2K towards the end. I was late to actually get into uploading the small forward list, but we did finally break down and clip up the small forward. So it's like a 15-minute video now instead of having to watch a whole hour-long stream. Because you know how we do over here. We'll be talking in between picks and stuff like that and going back and forth. I'm talking to chat and stuff like that in between picks. And sometimes if you just want to know what the list is, you're not maybe interested in all the other stream stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's all good. Y'all ain't got to apologize for missing the stream. Like I said, I'm just happy y'all be pulling up, bro. You feel me? Rage, what's good, man? How you doing today? Oh, rewatch gang. Saw the full thing. Appreciate you, Ant-Man. 22 stopped working? What do you mean 22 stopped working? That's crazy. I've been good. Honestly. So what's funny, these last couple days I've been good. I wanted to drop some more content. Like I haven't posted. I just looked at my TikTok and YouTube shorts. I haven't posted a TikTok or a short in like a week. That's rare for me. But then I was also like, well, ain't really much been happening in the NBA world. I've talked about pretty much everything outside of the Robert Sarver stuff. I got a couple of thoughts on that, but not many. And 2K dropped on Thursday. So honestly, I took off work Friday. I played 2K all day this past weekend, and for my wife just yelled through the door all day, every day. Yes, I played 2K all day, every day this past weekend. Didn't do much outside of that. So I was the degenerate, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. Last couple of streams, Surge, they've been solid. Like we've had some people pulling up. We've been going through the lists. It's been some controversy in the list. I want to say the most controversial one so far. I'd say probably the shooting guard list. The list that people, because it's usually only controversial when people rewatch it. If you watch it during the time, because it's so much explanation I give, it's really not that crazy. But when you rewatch it, or if you just watch the TikTok or the YouTube short where I just read through my list without the explanation, because it's only like 30 seconds, people are always wondering, where's this guy? Where's that guy? Where's this guy? Where's that guy? And then I'd be like, well, they either didn't play enough games or haven't categorized as something different because of where they played most of their minutes. But you know, Lance, we probably won't start with Pirtle because I do like to start the stream, but hopping right into at least the title of the stream. But we probably will do a Pirtle today because I'll probably get back into doing Pirtles more regularly once the season starts. I honestly, these past month, I think I've only done Pirtles on stream. Jordan Poole was robbed. Yeah, the shooting guard list was very controversial. People were mad I didn't have Jordan Poole. People were mad I didn't have Beal at first, but then I explained the minute situation. But a lot of people wanted Jordan Poole to make it. But he was an honorable mention, but he just was not top 10 for me personally. He wasn't that. Oh, you did do it and it's a decent one? All right, bet. So we'll do it. We'll do it today. All right. Let me pull up. It's funny because I almost fumbled again, and I almost forgot to do the tier list. Y'all know how we do over here. We try to do the tier lists for the top tens. It just makes it easier. It gives you guys a visual to look at. I like to try to make the streams a little bit more dynamic, and I like the visual aspect myself to kind of keep track of where I am. But I really almost fumbled and almost didn't make the tier list, but I did. With literally a minute before the stream started, I finished the tier list. So let me pull it up. Oh, you guessed the Pirtle in just 3. Oh, today Pirtle might be good then. Y'all want to do that first since everybody talking about it? Last stream when the dude asked you to start with Montrez. Yeah, last stream we did Trez. Speaking of Pirtle, Wordle. I'll probably never. I mean, excuse me. Larry Birtle. That is Pirtle on hard mode. Is crazy. It's Pirtle on hard mode. Like we've done Larry Birtle on the stream a couple of times, and every time it's way harder than just the regular Pirtle. Way harder. All right, let me try to. Why did it? Hold on. Can I edit? There we go. The faces in the tier list were all jacked up, so I wasn't trying to just the photos messed up in the tier list. That's all. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. We'll do the tier list real quick, and then since y'all talk about it, we'll do Pirtle, and then we'll scroll through some NBA Twitter stuff just to round out the stream. Nah, you're not late at all. Relja? Relja? I am terrible with names, but that is a new name, so I appreciate you pulling up to the stream. How are you? I want to say that's a new name. At least not a name I recognize that often. I do appreciate you for pulling up. He just started. Hey, that's what's up. That is what's up. All right. You got today's Pirtle and just 2 guesses. Oh, y'all was going in. Probably a Serbian brother. It low key could be Serge because I was looking at his name, that name, and I'm looking at yours, and I'm like, that's what it reminded me of. Your name, Serge. I'm gonna call you Rel. Serge is Rel. Serbian name, you are right. See, look, boom. Rel or Ja? You tell me what you prefer, Rel or Ja. You let me know. So we're gonna get into the tier list. Power forwards, top 10 power forwards, to give you a background if you're new. Did not mean to kick the camera just now. If you're new to the stream and not necessarily sure how we do the tier list around here, they have to have played. Ja better we know why. I appreciate that. I like that. I figured you were gonna go with Ja, but you know what I mean? I figured I'd give you the option. We go by, you have to have played 41 games. I typically look at where a player played in terms of lineups, because as players have evolved, their positions may move around because of their team that they're on, situations, things like that. So I go by what position they spent the most minutes at. Typically, that's what I like to do. Sometimes I make an exception if I go by play styles, things like that. But I try to be consistent of just going by what position they played the most minutes at this past season. Today we're doing power forwards. Had to have played 41 games, which is half the season. That's why I did that, if you were curious. Last week we had a bunch of faces in the tier list. This week we just have the top 10, so you'll get to see who they are. But I do want to rattle off some of my honorable mentions before we get into it, before y'all get crazy. Is this a hot take, or can people agree on Ja Morant is the new Russ? Mobley's a power forward. I think Ja, their play style is very similar. Yeah, Ja, in terms of play style, it might be the new Russ. And I don't even think that's a slight. Some people might look at that now if you don't know what Russ was and what Russ has been throughout his whole career and look like that, like as a slight to Ja. But I mean, Russ got an MVP. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's a slight. Ja is Rose, but Rose and Russ are similar. Yeah, the only thing I would say, if Ja can develop a more consistent jump shot, like I like his jumper now, like he improved his jumper a lot this season compared to last season. That was part of the reason he had such a big jump. And Russ never really developed a consistent and confident, I'll use that word, 3-point shot, or even, yeah, I'll say 3-point shot, because he had the midi on lock. I don't know what happened this past season, but his last couple years in OKC, he had that mid-range pull up at the free throw line on lock. That is a big accomplishment to be considered. Like Russ, I don't disagree at all, Ant-Man. Ja is Rose, but Rose and Russ are similar. That's what Ja said. I definitely agree. To answer your question, yes, Mobley, I would consider a power forward on that team because Jared Allen was the center. That's a great example. Mobley was the power forward, Jared Allen was the center. I actually have a couple of guys on this power forward list who played a lot of minutes at center, but it just didn't feel right, so I put them on the power forward list. Ja's overrated, but still top 11. Not really overrated, just a lot of people clown him. I don't know why. So Ja, this past season, Karl-Anthony Towns was a center. At least I would call him a center. I know before Timberwolves fans go crazy, because I've been skeptical of the trade. If you're new around here, if you've been around here for a while, you would know I've been skeptical of that Rudy Gobert and Cat pairing. But I know Karl-Anthony Towns played a lot of minutes at power forward, playing alongside Jared Vanderbilt this past season. I'd have to look and see exactly how many, but I'm almost certain when I looked last week, he still played more minutes at center, so I'm considering him a center, personally. Sabonis, this coming season will probably be a center with the Kings, but last year, because he played most of his time still with the Indiana Pacers, yes, he is a power forward, and Miles Turner was the center for that team. That's what I'm saying. So some players are like tweeners, kind of, sort of, where they can be in different categories depending on the lineups, or they have the skill set or the size to play power forward and center. Evan Mobley, Sabonis, some of the other guys that you'll see on this list could be a center as well, but I would consider them a power forward. I take DeMar should have been top 3 or 4 in MVP voting. I got to look and see where MVP voting landed, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure it was probably, I want to say it was Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. I wouldn't necessarily put him at 3. I love DeMar. I love the season that DeMar had last year. I'm not really sure where he ended the MVP voting. I know we're off topic, but y'all know how we do over here. We vibing. Because now you got me curious. MVP voting 2022. Do they have it? All right. This is just from Google real quick. Share, right? And Command Plus. Oh, Devin Booker was 4? No way. This is from Sporting News. Do they have just... Yeah, there we go. Defensive player, most improved, 6-man, coach of the year. I'm very curious what these totals were now. Wow. So I never really thought about that much. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hoops with Thunder. I assumed he was higher. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I assumed he was higher. And I think part of that had to be because the Bulls finished the season on a downward spiral, but a lot of that was due to injury and stuff. But it's definitely some guys on here I would have put DeMar over, considering the type of season he had. Especially because you can say DeMar doesn't really play defense, but Ja's not really a great defender. Steph, we know, isn't a great defender, but Steph is Steph. Booker, Luka, I would at least have him around 5. That's so low. He got 1 5th place vote. Anyway, that really did surprise me. That really did surprise me. Like, wow. Lux, yes, that is a big old water bottle. It's a gallon. I carry around a gallon water bottle because it keeps it cold and insulated all day. Like, I don't know. I just like it a lot. Ja, that's a great question. Who was power forward for the Lakers last season? And I think that's a great segue to get into this before I let's look at anything else. The power forward for the Lakers last year was LeBron James. Gotta go to Target. All right, man, I'll catch you later. How's Devin Booker over Luka? He's his dad. All right, let's get into this tier list. Hold on. Shit, I thought I did start playing music. Did not mean to do that. All right. So we got a tier list here. Dang, yeah, Chet. You'll be rewatch gang. Appreciate you, Ant. Chet getting injured sucks. So this is the pool of guys we got. These are my 10. This is the 10 pool. I'll let you see it right here. I'm going to rattle you off some of my honorable mentions. People who I thought about for a while, didn't make the list. But I like their game a lot. And it was very, very close. Yes, I'll crack the top 10 for me, and I'll explain why when we get into it. A couple of honorable mention guys who played enough games, they were just honorable mentions for me. Not in necessarily any particular order. This is just the 4 or 5 guys I was really playing around with in my head to maybe take that 9 or 10 spot. John Collins, the start. I really like his game. I really like his game a lot, considering he had some flaws. I think there were some times when he and Trey didn't necessarily always play amazing together. I think some of his numbers were down compared to last season, but I love his game. I love the potential upside of his game. Him in the pick and roll with Trey is amazing. If he can, he's one of those players, and Jaren Jackson Jr., since we're talking about this mode of player who I feel like a lot of people want to turn into a stretch. A lot of people want to be able to have a really consistent 3-point shot, because everyone realizes if John Collins can get a consistent 3, then he'll be absolutely amazing, but it's just not there yet. Next, honorable mention, I have Kristaps Porzingis. He's mainly an honorable mention because while I love his game, it just did not work out for him and Luka in the Mavericks. He did not perform well in Dallas. He got traded to DC, started playing a little bit better. I'm really looking forward to what he can do alongside Bradley Beal. Honestly, he has the potential to break into the top 10 list going into next season. Like, that's how high I am on him. Y'all gonna see where I put Al. Y'all sleeping on Al, I feel like. Y'all really do sleep on Al. Next honorable mention is Julius Randle. If you look at his numbers, they're solid. Like, I like his game, but I mean, it's nowhere near close to his All-Star year, if we're being real. The Knicks just weren't good this year, and Julius Randle's shooting numbers reflect that. And then my last honorable mention that I just kind of wanted to throw in there, because I thought about him for a brief second, because he really did have that. Both of these guys had really that great of a season, is Evan Mobley. Maybe that's who I was missing. I knew it was somebody who I was missing. Did I miss him? I thought about that. Kuz was an honorable mention for me. And the reason, let me pull it up. I can tell you right now. I don't know if they, because Kristaps played like less than 20 games for the Wizards. So I'm not 100% sure what their exact lineup was to keep it a B. I'm trying to find it right now. Yeah, Kuzma and Kristaps didn't play much together. Y'all can see what I'm looking at here. Y'all see that? Yeah. The number 1 lineup was Beal, Caldwell Pope, Dinwiddie, Gafford, and Kuzma, but that's obviously before the trade. This is also before. That's with Porzingis there, but that's like that was Tomas Satoransky, because the Beal was injured by then. I guess you could make the argument that Kuzma would have either been the small forward or the power forward, and Kristaps could have been playing the center. I categorize Kristaps as a power forward because a lot of times he played with the Mavericks still at the power forward position, just to give you my thoughts and breakdown. Mobley was an honorable mention. Kuzma had a better season than Grant, Al, and Toby. I wouldn't be mad at that. This is just my list. I'm not mad at it. I love Kyle Kuzma's game. You could say I slept on him a little bit, maybe. He didn't crack my 10. Dang. Do I want to change it a little bit? To add Kuz? I don't. I'm happy with my 10. I'm happy with the list. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm happy with the list. It is what it is. You feel me? All right. Let me pull up my notes so we can get into it. I gave you my honorable mentions. We mentioned John Collins. We mentioned Kristaps. We mentioned Mobley. We mentioned Randall. Now we just mentioned Kuz. Because I'll give you Kuz because Kristaps got there so late. But now, at number 10, y'all really gonna hate my list. Y'all gonna hate my list. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody not gonna like my list. I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody not gonna like my list. Like y'all. I'm looking at y'all, what y'all already saying before I even put players in their spots. Y'all not gonna like my list. At number 10, I have Domantas Sabonis. He is playing center for the Kings, but most of his season was with the Indiana Pacers. He played power forward alongside Miles Turner. I really like his game a lot. He's not the greatest defender, but he rebounds. He's one of the best rebounders in the league. He has great post work, his great finishing ability around the rim. I would love for him to be a better defender, but I don't think he is. Like, I don't know. I don't think he has that necessarily in his game. But rebounding, finishing out a defensive possession by getting a solid rebound is part of defense. I like his game a lot. I'll be honest, for me personally, when it came to Sabonis reminds me of one of those guys who a lot of people, I won't say a lot, I hear people talk about his stretch ability. I think there are a lot of guys on this list. We talked about it with John Collins. We talked about it with Jaren Jackson. I say it all the time about Miles Turner, and I'm going to say it about Sabonis as well. A lot of people talk about some of these guys' ability to stretch the floor. When you really look at it, when you really watch them play, they don't really be stretching the floor like that. They really, really don't. Did I have him? Yeah, this is where I had. At number 9, this is where I had Al Horford. I had him above Domantas Sabonis, mainly because I liked his, and you can call it some intangible stuff. You can call it like, I don't know, bias, but I'm not really a Boston Celtics fan. But to me, Al Horford's the reason he got on this list is beyond his numbers. It's his playmaking. It's the ability to make those smart plays. His ability to play defense. His ability to hit a clutch shot for the Celtics from time to time. We saw in the playoffs he had a couple of what people were calling the Al Horford games. Like he's a very, very good player who has the benefit of being I hate the term, but you know how people always say there's ceiling raisers and there's floor raisers. Al Horford, I would call it like a floor raiser. Having him on this team, having him in your starting lineup makes your team better just because he makes the smart plays. He plays good defense. He's solid offensively. He knows how to make the smart pass. His numbers aren't crazy. No, I'll give you that. His numbers probably have never really been crazy in his career, but he's always been one of the better power forwards, at least in my opinion. Al is not him. At number 8, this is where I have Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was tough for me to place because I'm gonna keep it a B. I've probably watched maybe more than 5, but less than 10 Detroit Pistons games this past season. I was not tapped into the Pistons like I wanted to be because every time I would look and see, oh, the Pistons are playing, it was just another team I wanted to see a little bit more. But I love Jeremy Grant's game a lot. He's one of those power forwards who plays more like a wing. Like he has the ability to create his own shot. He's one of the better shooters in his list outside of like maybe Kevin Durant and Tobias Harris. But he's one of the better shooters here. He has the defensive versatility. Y'all know me, I love two-way play. His ability to guard multiple positions. He's a guy who can create his own shot. I'm very, very curious to see how he plays alongside of Dame and the rest of the Portland Trailblazers this coming season. Boston made the finals, and one of the reasons was Al. Yeah, exactly. Al Horford was a big, and I mean big part of the Boston Celtics finals run. Jeremy Grant's top 6. For me, he's at number 6. I'm not mad at that. Grant was tough in Denver, even though he was like the 4th or 5th option. Yes, he was tough in Denver. I did like him at Denver. My favorite team is the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm an undercover Thunder fan. I don't tap in with the Thunder as much as I used to, but when the Thunder first moved to OKC from Seattle, like I was a big KD fan. I'm still a big Russ fan. I'm a fan of Harden. Like that trio, Serge, Steven Adams. I even like Cephalosha, even though he couldn't do nothing on the offense, but he was in the defensive lockdown. I can talk all day about that OG Thunder squad. But yes, my main team is the Sixers, and I'm an undercover Thunder fan. At number 7, who do I have at number 7? At number 7, this is where I have Draymond Green. It was hard for me to figure out where I wanted to place Draymond. We all know Draymond's numbers don't really do much. He literally averaged 7, 7, and 7 this past season. But the beginning of the year, before his injury, so from the beginning of the year to, I want to say he got injured in January, mid-January. To me, Draymond Green, 1, was Defensive Player of the Year. 2, he looked like his younger self. Like I was like, oh, is this 2016 Draymond? Like he was moving up the court very well. He was making reads. He was playing amazing defense. The shot was still a little iffy. I think his confidence is just waning as he's gotten older or whatever. But the way he was playing in the beginning of the season was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He did fall off after when he got back from his injury, but he's even said himself, I listened to his podcast, that part of that might have just been he's never had to deal with an injury mid-season. And there were times during the playoffs when Coach Steve Kerr was like, yo, Draymond, you're really not playing well. We're going to sit you for a little bit, let you get your mind right, figure out whatever's going on and come back. But he still had a good season. It's just, if you look at his numbers on paper, they don't really compare to everybody else on this list. But when you watch his impact that he has for the Warriors, and you can make the argument all day with Draymond that, well, if you put him on a different team, would he really be this good? Honestly, I don't know. It's a big what if. Like, there's a lot of guys, if you put them on different situations and different teams, will they be that good? Part of it is you really don't know. But part of the reason I love basketball so much is that it is a team sport. There are 4 other guys on the court with you at all times. So part of how you gel with your teammates and how you make a system work for you or how you benefit to your team system is a big part of what makes a successful basketball player. Ingram was on my small forward list for last week's small forward list. Hey, Lucas and Coop, what's good? Thanks for pulling up. So we having a donkey at 7. All right, number 6. This is where I have Tobias Harris. Tobias, for me, and somebody mentioned it earlier, they were surprised to see him on this list because he had a down year. While his points per game may have been a down year for him, I think defensively he stepped up a lot for the 76ers this past season. And I think the fact that his numbers really didn't drop that much, I'll say, considering they added a guy like James Harden, Tyrese Maxey stepped up a whole lot offensively, and Tobias Harris out of nowhere went from being like the 2nd or 3rd option that he's been with the Sixers for the last couple of seasons, at least offensively, to the 4th option for the Sixers, at least when it comes to looking for a guy to score. But he was still able to get he was still able to defend well. He was still able to be a positive contributor to this team. I want to say he averaged 17 this past season on some pretty solid shooting. I love Tobias' defense. It's not like an amazing, like you'll never hear Tobias Harris in conversation for all defensive. So let me not use the word I love Tobias Harris's defense, but he is a really, really good defender for the 76ers, and they utilize him well. Herb Jones might have been the power forward. I'd have to look and see who else was in those lineups, but I did have Ingram in my small forward list from last season. Yeah, and Tobias Harris in the early part of the season was really good. Some of his numbers dropped due to James Harden coming there, and he had to take a step back offensively. In the beginning of the season, without Ben Simmons, both Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey stepped up big to try to fill some of that offensive void that the Sixers had without Ben being there. At number 5, somebody, I don't know who guessed it, but somebody that guessed it. This is where I have Jaren Jackson Jr. Listen, Jaren Jackson Jr. is probably, after Giannis, the best defender here. After Giannis and probably Draymond, he's the best defender here. I love what he brings to the Memphis Grizzlies defensively. Another one of those guys who, if they develop a consistent shot, is going to be really dangerous for their teams. The pick and rolls between him and Ja are solid. He has the ability to create his own shot a little bit off the dribble if he goes against a smaller power forward. I like his game. He definitely has some upsides. I hope he continues to grow. I hope this isn't his ceiling because I do see some flaws in his game, some holes in his game, if you will. But defensively, he's him. Like defensively, he has defensive player of the year potential in his future. He was all defensive team this past season. It was about 2 weeks ago. I was scrolling through some random Twitter thread, and some Memphis Grizzlies fan had retweeted it on my timeline. And it was basically just a whole bunch of moments of Jaren Jackson Jr. playing amazing defense. And it wasn't just like a one block situation. It was like a beautiful rotation to stop the drive. They dump it to his big behind him. He's able to get back, turn around, pin the layup against the backboard. That team gets the offensive rebound. Now he's switched onto a guard on the perimeter. Like, he can do a lot defensively, and I absolutely love that. Dang, not y'all trying to guess my list. Ja, that's an excellent point. So it's a couple of guys in here, and I'm happy you brought that up. Because number 4 on this list, just to go ahead and get into it, number 4 on this list is Pascal Siakam. Now, a lot of people, myself included, when I was looking at this list, I was like, did Pascal play more center than power forward? And I'll be honest, they did run a lot, and a lot of minutes at Pascal at the center spot. But they ran a little bit more, and it was very, very close, where they would either run Precious Achiuwa at the center, they would run Khem Birch at center, mainly those two guys. So to me, Pascal, while he did have a lot of moments at center, he thrived more at the power forward position. They ran him a little bit more at power forward. Did they close a lot of games at him at center? Sure. They closed a lot of games at him at center, especially depending on the matchup, being able to run a small ball 5 that everybody can get up and run down the court and, handle the ball. But they did run a lot of him at the 4 and a lot of Scotty at the 3. The Raptors just was running around with really, really big lineups this past season, bro. Really big lineups this past season. Siakam, KD, LeBron, Giannis. Oh, those are your guesses? You'd have KD over Bron from Les. Fidget spinner. So what? All right, next on the list. This top 3 was tough for me. I'll be honest, this top 3 was tough for me. At number 3 is where I have LeBron James. LeBron had an absolutely amazing season. We all know about, he averaged 30 at like 50 years old. The reason he's at 3 and behind KD and Giannis, because there was never while LeBron did have an amazing season, I'm not really trying to take anything away from him. To me, at least, there was never a moment where I felt like LeBron James was the best player in the league. And when it comes to KD and Giannis, for a lot of the season, I was like, oh, okay, this guy's the best player, that guy's the best player. Like, those two were always in the conversations for who's the best player in the league. To me, LeBron never really got into that conversation. While the numbers were beautiful, the numbers were there, to me at least, it never felt like that. Had an amazing season. I can see the small signs of age and slowing down and stuff like that in terms of, choosing when he wants to play defense and things like that. I'm not saying other superstars don't do that as well. I'm just saying I notice it more in LeBron, and it might be because he's LeBron and I'm used to his level of defensive intensity that he's shown throughout most of his career. But I feel like being almost 40 and being the 3rd best power forward in the league is absolutely insane. And since we're here talking about it, don't even explain the last one. And LeBron James is very similar to Pascal in the sense that they both played a lot. A lot of center. Low key, I want to say LeBron played actually a couple more minutes at center, but that's why I said that little caveat at the beginning that sometimes they're going to make an exception. I was not putting LeBron James at center. LeBron played center because he had to, because Anthony Davis got injured. But he did play a lot of minutes at center. but it just ain't feel right to me. It ain't feel right because he started most of his games at power forward. So LeBron for me made the power forward list, and he's number 3. At number 2, I swear I have Kevin Durant. Like I said earlier, it's one of the guys before Kevin Durant got injured. Because I want to say what did he do to his knee? Sprained meniscus? I cannot remember what his injury was, but before his injury, Kevin Durant was MVP to me. Kevin Durant was the best player in the league. Every game that the Nets won were because Becky Benz was good. Every game that the Nets won was because of Kevin Durant. He had an absolutely amazing season. I loved what he was able to do for the Nets. They fell apart in the playoffs. I ain't gonna hold you. They definitely fell apart in the playoffs. That sweep was embarrassing. We've talked about it countless times here on the stream and stuff. But during the regular season, Kevin Durant wasn't him. And needless to say, the number 1 power forward in the league, in my opinion, the best player in the league this past season, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Two-way play is unstoppable. Literally an unstoppable dominant force. It's crazy how much I've seen in the last couple of weeks. And I think it's just because the NBA is really slow right now in terms of news and as an entertainment factor. A whole lot of content creators and just people on Twitter, people on TikTok are trying to tell me Giannis isn't the best player in the league. And I'm just like, that's impossible. That's impossible for me to even fathom because they're saying it's skill-based, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Whatever. To me, Giannis, best player in the league, best power forward in the league. Because physical dominance it's an asset. If you physically more dominant than everybody else, you can be the best NBA player because if you physically more dominant than everybody else. And a great point I saw because people were trying to discredit Giannis, saying what he does doesn't take skill. And if that was the case, what's stopping like JaVale McGee to have the same type of career Giannis had? I don't know if y'all was watching basketball when JaVale McGee was a Washington Wizard, but he was basically had every bit of athleticism that Giannis has. Go back and watch some of his stuff, the blocks he was getting, the dunks he was getting. But he didn't have the skill Giannis had to be able to put the ball on the ground, make the right passes, make the right reads, stuff like that. That part of Giannis's game is skill. And to me, that makes him the number 1 power forward in the NBA. Like Ja, I'm not mad at you saying Shaq better than Hakeem, even though Hakeem is the more skilled scorer. Because yes, for the early 2000s, Shaq was the best player in the league. Like Shaq was him. I did watch some of your. I'll get to that in a second. So full list: Giannis, KD, LeBron, Pascal, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tobias Harris, Draymond Green, Jeremy Grant, Al Horford, and Domantas Sabonis. Some honorable mentions that didn't make the list: John Collins, Kristaps, Evan Mobley, Julius Randle, Kyle Kuzma. If they made your list over some of my guys, y'all know me. I'm not mad at you. This is just my list. Ja, I didn't get a chance to watch like Eurobasket live. Like I didn't watch any full games because they all came on when I was at work because they was on the day, East Coast time. You changed Mobley for Al. I'm not mad at that. You'd have Sabonis over Draymond, Becky. Interesting. Numbers wise, I can see it, but just to me, Draymond's impact that's why Draymond's always hard to list and rank because his impact is crazy. But I basically just watched mainly Eurobasket highlights. I didn't get a chance to watch any full games because they all came on when I was at work during the day. But it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. And I did see some of the Schroeder. I did see a lot of Schroeder highlights. And it brought the question of, a lot of people are having this conversation on Twitter of like why he's still a free agent or how is he still a free agent. I don't know, man. But he was hooping in Eurobasket. He was definitely hooping in Eurobasket. Just two quick things real quick. And we're gonna play we'll play dribble and we'll play Pirtle. Two things. What did I wanted to talk about? It was two. Nope. So I kind of wanted to touch on the Robert Sarver situation. If you're not aware, Robert Sarver, he is the current owner of the Phoenix Suns. The NBA just fined him $10 million and have suspended him for a year for an investigation that came from an article that ESPN put out last November, touching on I guess I'll say some sexism and some potential racism that he had been exhibiting amongst his staff in the Phoenix Sun and players in the Phoenix Suns organization. Really just like crazy stuff in my opinion. Um, like he was you it's been reported that he's been quoted like he said the N-word like 5 times with when in quoting other NBA players using it. He's said some sexist stuff to women in terms of I've seen quotes of him saying like I was reading an article earlier today. And one of the quotes that was used was him saying that to a pregnant woman that she won't be able to have a good job here because she's pregnant and stuff like that, which is sexist, like for a lack of a better phrase. He's said inappropriate stuff to men, to women sexually. It was reports that he's showed pictures of his wife in bikini to his coworkers. And the reason why it's so weird to me is one, I would consider most of the stuff that I read in the reports racist and sexist. The weird part to me is the fact that he only got the year suspension. And the only reason I can think of that the NBA would have only gave him a year because I feel like his situation that's happening now was very comparable to what happened to Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling. And Donald Sterling was forced to sell his team, and that's why I cannot tell you the new. I can see his face, but I cannot tell you the name of the new Clippers owner. And the only reason I can think of they might not have forced Robert Sarver to sell his team or asked him to sell his team is because according to the reports, all this stuff happened at least like 5 years ago. They're saying it happened throughout his entire time as owner, which I want to say is 18 or 14 years. I can't remember off the top of my head. And they're saying he's going through the working and the steps to, I guess, rehabilitate himself. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I don't know. I thought it was weird. I was honestly expecting a force to sell the team or at least a longer ban because I ain't gonna hold you $10 million to these billionaires who own these NBA teams ain't really much and nothing. That's like finding us $100. Like it ain't crazy. I agree, Guru. I thought it would have been longer. I just wanted to get my 2 cents out on that because I don't necessarily say it was something that was bothering me, but it's something that I was surprised. I'll say that. I was surprised that Adam Silver didn't come down a little harder on him for that. Hey, Princess Plays, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? I did see who asked that. Becky said we can put the link, the list back up because you didn't see it while we pull that up. Guru, you said you missed just about the whole stream. While I leave the list up so y'all can see it, I'm gonna pull Portal up and get that ready to go. This was a tough list. Top 10 lists are tough. They are. Top 10 lists are tough. I can't even cap. All right. Let's play some Portal real quick. I need a name to start with. The center list, Becky Benz should be next week. Let me pull my calendar up. Yeah, the center list should be next week because the plan has been we did one a week for 5 weeks in a row. We've been doing these. This is actually the first time we did like a full like list thing, so this was fun for me. But it should be next week. I'm just trying to pull up my calendar just real quick. Yeah, because the plan is center list next week. And then the 28th, I'm not sure exactly what we're doing there, but it might be like a little season preview type vibe. Because on the 5th, that first week of October, we'll have some preseason games. We can talk about some preseason stuff. So the next 2 weeks, so next week will be center list. Then the 28th and 5th will probably be a lot of like season preview stuff, just some last minute thoughts on the season. If any other team makes a move, it'll probably be during that time period, like some last minute, just like let's make something happen. And then the 12th, man, that's NBA Tuesday's NBA kickoff. I want to say tip off. The 12th we'll be in the NBA season. We're only like 3 weeks away. All right, let's see. Oh, y'all was really saying Josh Hart, Jason Tatum, John Collins, Try Shea. Look, you got me. Said you a Thunder fan also. I do want to do SGA. We'll do SGA. That's my guy. Ooh. Ooh. 6'6". Probably gonna be a forward. It's just not a guard. 6'6" forward. That's 23 or 22 that plays in the Eastern Conference. 6'6" forward. That's 22. 422 Eastern Conference. How tall is RJ, y'all? I'm thinking RJ. I don't know how tall he is at the top of my head. My brain wants to say he's taller, but sometimes I be thinking players are taller than they are. Oh, Thunder said RJ too. All right, we're gonna try RJ. RJ was 22. Atlantic Division, Eastern Conference. But see, RJ's listed as guard forward. So Atlantic Division is Sixers, Nets, Knicks, Boston Atlantic Division. Could be Grant Williams, but I don't think is Grant Williams 23. Grant Williams strikes me as a guy who's low key in college for a while. It could be Grant Williams. Boston is Atlantic Division. It's not Jason Tatum. Yeah, Jason 6'7". It's not Jason Tatum. That's too short. I do like the Grant Williams pick because Grant Williams would be listed as just a forward. I just thought he was older than that. I'm gonna give it a try. Grant Williams, because Grant Williams is actually 23. Because yeah, he is 6'6". That's crazy to me that Grant Williams can play how he plays, considering how tall he is. Let me pull dribble up real quick for y'all. Dribble NBA game. Ooh, I like this one. Today's dribble is Russ and Trey. And I want to say, did Russ play with Clint? Was they there together for a brief moment? I want to say Russ played with Clint Capella. I'll take that. Russ played with Clint Capella. All right, that was good. Dang, this low key might be a shorter stream, y'all, because unless y'all got something y'all really want to talk about. Oh, real quick. So it was rumored. Let's just scroll on NBA Twitter real quick because I don't want this to be just a dumb fast stream. But like I said, it's the dog days of the NBA. It's rough out here in these streets. Let me do one thing real quick because I did want to pull up. A couple of random things just off the top of my head. Donovan Mitchell had his press conference with the Cavs. I didn't have the chance to watch the full thing, but he did do an interview with, I want to say that was Brian Windhorst who was interviewing him. I didn't actually see the person interview him, but it sounded like Brian Windhorst. But he was talking about the trade. He was talking about he was excited to be with the Cavs. He said he was expecting. It says right here, I thought for sure I was going back home. I ain't gonna lie about that. Like he really thought he was going to the Knicks. He didn't get into how well he thought he was going to the Knicks because he didn't want to get into any tampering situations and stuff like that. But he really did think he was going to the Knicks. OrlandoMagic.com top 10 point guards entering next season. Luka, Steph, Ja, Trey, Darius, Kyrie. Hey, Darius getting some love. I like that. Kyrie, Dame, LaMelo, Chris Paul, James Harden. Who are they missing? Luka Doncic is in a legal battle with his mom? Really, Guru? For why? No, I mean, not for why, but like, how? Them Cavs jerseys are doo doo. You don't like these Cavs jerseys? That's crazy. Darius Garland over John Morant. Don't hate on me. I don't know if I'm ready to go there. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd pick. I'm picking Ja personally, but I'm not mad at it. Like I can see it, kind of, sorta. His mom is trying to trademark Luka Doncic 7. Hold on, hold on. Luka Doncic mom. Luka Doncic in a legal battle with his mother. ESPN guard Luka facing legal battle with his mom. Yeah. There we go. Is this Fox Sports Australia? AU. AU makes me think this is Australia, but I'm not mad at it. Star athlete embroiled by legal dispute with his own mom, but that's not the case. Luka Doncic is his mother. Doncic confirmed in a long-time Navy reporter Mark Stein that he filed a petition with the United States Patent and Trademark Office regarding canceling the Luka Doncic 7 trademark, which is controlled by his mother, which she has refused to give up. Okay, so it's probably a trademark that he had been using. Hold on, trademark regarding canceling the trademark, which is controlled by his mother, which he had refused to get. I have a lot to look forward to as I continue to grow as a player, and as a person, it's important to me that I control my own brand and focus on giving back to my communities. Doncic told Stein. Doncic said gave his mother permission to register his name as a trademark during his rookie year in 2018. Woo! Dang, that's tough. It might be hard for him to get out of it then if he gave her permission to register the name as a trademark in 2018. According to Stein, the Maverick star tried in writing last year to get his mother's company to give up the trademark, but it did not happen. Doncic unveiled a new logo last season on his Jordan Brand sneakers apparel that made use of the initials LD and his number 77 and the letter S for his home country, Slovenia. Yep. Nevertheless, he sought to trademark the name Luka Doncic, and it was preliminarily rejected. Therefore, Stein reported that the Doncic's latest findings was a last resort in a bid to gain full control over his name, brand, charitable foundation, business affairs, since conflicting trademarks prevent Doncic from holding clear rights to use his own name. That's tough. Like, I'm not saying like in a way of his mom helped him sign rookie cards? That's dope. Yeah. Yeah, AU is Australia. Hey, bro, it was good, man. I hope Draymond gets way worse so they can keep pulling Wiggins. That's crazy to say. That's crazy. That is crazy. Nah, this is wild. I mean, I get it. I get both sides, kind of, sort of. That's tough, though. Legal dispute with your mom to try to get your name back. But he gave her the rights to it. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Y'all know me. I don't know everything. But from a legal business standpoint, I feel like his mom's not necessarily in the wrong. But I also feel like, dang, you couldn't get your son his name back? That's tough. It's tough on both sides. Oh wow, Dwayne Wade will not to return to TNT this season. I'm scrolling through Twitter just to see if there's anything we want to talk about before we move on to the next thing. I'm not even really gonna touch on this. I might make a video about it, breaking it down. Like, I gotta really get my thoughts on it and really see what Gilbert Arenas has been saying. But I've been seeing a lot of clips lately of Gilbert Arenas basically saying Giannis is not the best player in the league. Let me make this a little bigger. Of Gilbert basically saying Giannis isn't the best in the league, and that he's not doesn't have the skill to be the best of the league. And then he says Gilbert Arenas further explains his comments on Giannis. Like, I'm gonna look into this later. It's saying he's smarter than Chris Paul, LeBron, Curry, Clay, Draymond, Kawhi, Jokic, Luka. If he doesn't rank number one in that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like I said, I gotta really look and see what Gilbert Arenas has been talking about. But the Giannis slander has been crazy lately. Ja Morant on the semifinals to the Warriors. I feel like, me personally, we were the favorites. I gotta look and see if that was real. Dwayne Wade will not turn to NBA this season. To TNT this season? No, that sucks. All right. Like I said, the NBA has been quiet, bro. Lonzo's not coming back. Did we talk about that last week? The Bulls don't know when, how fast Lonzo's going to come back. That's going to hurt them a lot. They're going to miss him. They're going to miss his playmaking, and they're going to miss his defense. I know they picked up Gordon Dragic, which is great, but Gordon Dragic was more so like, I mean, he can be a great starter, don't get me wrong, but if you add him to your bench depth, that's 10 times better in my mind. Gilbert is trying to stay relevant. I swear to you, that's all he's doing. He just be chatting to start to stay relevant. I promise you, that's all he's doing. Giannis is my favorite player, and the argument against him is so annoying and dumb. Exactly, they really are. I think maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Cause I really need to see, because I've been seeing a lot of clips. I really just want to sit down, hear them out, and then go from there. Gilbert Arenas trying to stay relevant on God. Hey, little game, appreciate you for dropping by. I ain't gonna hold y'all guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this stream. Next week, I'll have some more stuff planned for next week. This week was quick because I knew we was just doing this power forward list, and the NBA has been slow. It ain't a ton to talk about, and I didn't necessarily want to go into deep dives on teams on stream. Hope y'all had a good time. I had a good time. I always have a good time on stream. It could be one person in the stream, if it's and I'll have a good time. You know what I mean? I love talking hoops. Dang, I miss basketball practice. Rewatch gang was after school basketball practice. Basketball practice used to be like a vibe, bro. I played basketball in high school. Was my team good? No, my team was trash. We were trash. I was trash. My first time playing basketball wasn't even until 9th grade, but I fell in love with the game. I absolutely love it. Great question, Becky. Stream is, I usually say that in the beginning of the stream to let people who are part of Rewatch Gang know, but stream happens every Wednesday, 8 p.m. on here. And it's always different. During the regular season, a lot of the stream was talking about games that had just passed, talking about maybe if I'm seeing something trending in players, like over, throughout that week, news, stuff like that. It varies, kind of sort of depending on what we feel like talking about that day. But every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Nah, bro, practice was fun as well. Hey, practice do be fun. Like, basketball is a fun sport, bro. It really is a fun sport. Yeah, preseason. Let me see. When is the first NBA preseason? Let me just pull it up, because I don't know when it actually starts. Looks like the earliest game I'm seeing October 2nd so far. I don't know if I see anything in September. Oh, September 30th, Golden State Warriors play the Wizards. I'll show y'all this. So Golden State Warriors play the Wizards on the September 30th. I'm just scrolling through looking for September dates. Everything else seems to be the Clippers play on the 30th. Who they play? Oh, was this when they play the overseas team? I'd be liking when they do that. So far, the Clippers, the Wizards, and the Warriors play in September. I think that's everybody, because everybody else is looking like all that first week in October, like we talked about. Yo, October 3rd, Mad Games happen October 3rd and October 2nd. And then that's the Wizards game. Nice. Oh, because that's the Japan games. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Friday 13th, 11 p.m. for Wizards Warriors in Japan. You were on the hockey team? We were doing when Suicide's winner got to be coach. Those are always fun. Hey, Lance, what's good? Lance, you might be Rewatch Gang, because I ain't going to hold you. We out of here. Did I put that on my story? I want to say I did put that on my story. I put it on my story. They was like, hey, yo, get here soon, because stream ain't going to be long tonight. I ain't have a ton to talk about, but I love vibing with y'all, love hanging out. And I wanted to hit the hour mark, which we did. 5:50, 59 and 30. Larry Birdo, real quick. All right, let's run one. Let's just run one real quick. Real quick. I've never played hockey. I've heard it's good. Like, I root for the Flyers because I'm a Sixers fan, like I'm a Philly fan. But I really don't be watching it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Give me a name for Larry Birtle. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll back, see what names y'all was talking about before. Y'all said I picked Jeremy Grant, but y'all were also. I mean, I picked Shea, but I saw what name did I see first? Josh Hart. We're gonna go with Guru's Josh Hart. Yep, I see you. You put that in all caps. All right, Josh Hart. Oh God. Forward center, Eastern Conference, taller than 6'5", under 25. I'm gonna guess Bam. Even younger, so 6'9", not Southeast. So 6'10", 6'11". Wait, center forward didn't go yellow? Drummond is, there's no way Drummond's under 20, 22, 20, under 22? No, it's not Drummond. I was thinking Mobley though. But the fact that center forward didn't light up, maybe forward center will light up or just straight forward. Let's go Mobley. He's young. He's 6'10" or 6'11", so he fits the height. And it's not Southeast Division. Y'all know I don't know jersey numbers. Y'all know I don't know jersey numbers. Let's go Evan Mobley then. All right. Oh, you don't look at ages? See, look, I look at it. I don't look at jersey numbers, so I understand not looking at a certain category. I've almost lost before because I don't know jersey numbers, and I had everything but the jersey right for a couple of guys. All right, y'all. That was fun. We got Evan Mobley. We'll be live next week, 8 p.m. I had to cancel last week's Let's Talk Hoops episode because my internet went down out of nowhere. But I'm having a conversation tomorrow about the Lakers with another creator. So that will come out. I have this stream Thursday night. I might be able to get the video up on Friday. At the latest, it'll probably be like Saturday or something like that. The video might drop like a little weekend drop. But yeah, NBA season's literally like 4 weeks away, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited to create more content. I'm excited to talk with y'all about basketball, and I'm just excited to watch some basketball. This September is gonna go by so slow, solely because we don't have basketball to watch. But stream went down last time because of the Tyrese Curry. Stream did go down last time, and we had to restart. I forgot about that. Yeah, it did. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. Peace.